Well, it was an emotional roller coaster last week, and I'm sure this one will just continue on, getting us all the way up to the top before we roll down and inevitably crash as the party TPKs. I mean, wins. They're going to win.
What
They're going to escape.
Fuck, Will. You're starting off so optimistic.
I know. I'm nothing but optimism. I ooze it every day. So last time, you guys were valiantly trying to get away from a Koatoa monitor. Sephel running around trying to find a better exit through a number of the different hovels. Indigo kicking, screaming, punching people left and right. And as Demogorgon proceeded into Sloop-A-Doop, destroying buildings, debris flying everywhere, some of it colliding with some of you, and the monitor finally falling, I believe it was by Andy's hand. Stool, Grim, and Lara all went down. And as it currently stands, Sephel and Indigo are in a hovel a little bit to the west, where Sephel is, I believe, on top of Indigo.
On top of him.
Yeah.
Doubled my weight to like pin him down.
That's right.
We're having fun.
You're having fun. And Andy proceeded to try and drag Lara, Stool, and Grim as fast as he could, which was not by much with his small frame, though surprisingly wiry strength. And Lara saw a shadowy figure that she had encountered once before when they had fallen close to death's door. And however, within this figure offered a chance to escape death, and with greater power, and for a chance to get her wings back. And we ended on this beautiful image of them clasping arms and a lightning strike coming down towards them.
Beautiful image.
Beautiful image. Anybody that wants to draw that or commission that would be amazing. Thank you. And so we find ourselves back in that space with Lara and this figure. And as this blinding light from this lightning strike dissipates, you find yourself standing and your injuries are gone. And this once very shrouded humanoid figure, you watch as kind of like these smoky tendrils drift away from them. And from what you can perceive of this figure, they appear to be 9 feet tall. They have this almost satiny midnight black skin that goes all the way up, and from it you can see 2 bright eyes, and from the crown of their head you see small horns that do indeed make a type of crown, a type of circles around their head. You cannot really make out much else of this figure other than their towering build, their strong musculature, and what you believe to be their actual skin. And as they draw their arm away from you, they say, "I'm so glad you've taken this bargain. I've seen something in you that I've not normally taken in my followers. But I think you're destined for something greater, Aquilara. Something your previous patron dared not glean into much. And so I hope, as we get to know each other, you see the true benefits that reside in working with myself. Wings are what you desire. I can see it. I can feel it within my bones. This is what you really wish for. That meaning behind them that you once held. I can give them to you. It's without worry your trouble to give you such a small bit. However, you find yourself in a pressing place. I do wish to see a test from you. Escape from Demogorgon. You will find yourself imbued with my powers. Rescue your friends or leave them. I have no preference. If you manage to escape this, and you can see all around you almost an ethereal-like image of Sloop-A-Doop, and in slow motion, like the pandemonium of the Koatoa running around, and Demogorgon in the back smashing a building. If you manage to escape, make your way towards the center of the dark lake. I feel something there. Something calls to me. While I do have a majority of my powers, I believe there's something there that might help me in securing my place here. Do this, and you'll have your wings. I do not lie. These promises are absolutely sincere.
She looks at him, like just listening, and then she waits a beat. It is done. I can feel that you've healed me. And I will be getting my wings back.
Good. I like this simmering anger that lies within you. Oh, Lara, this is going to be fun. And the name's Grants, by the way. But you can call me my lord, Dark Prince. Either of those will do.
She will do a salute.
He kind of twirls his arm and goes into a very nice ornate bow before you. And then he straightens back up and snaps their fingers. And you find yourself now standing amongst your fallen comrades. You see Stool, you see Grim, you see Andy kind of looking at you, not really surprised, but just kind of like, oh, hey, welcome back. Glad to see you're standing.
Is he still standing there, like, dragging Stool and Grim?
Yeah, but he's pulled his hands back and he's just like got him on his hips, like, huh, imagine that. Like, picture like Steve Urkel, kind of just like,
yeah.
Wow. And before you do anything, we're going to go ahead and jump in the order because that's what we got to do. Mm-hmm. Oh, and we're up to Stool. For everybody at home, we have 2 successes. For Stool, we have 1 failure. Let's see. That is a 19. And I joked that he was going to do this. All right, so that is 3 successes. We see you see Lara. You see kind of the shake from Stool. And you believe.
He's alive.
I mean, if you want to, it's just Andy watching. You could just shank him. I mean, do you? But yes, Stool has 3 successes. He is unconscious, but not dying. All right, next in the order, we have... Oh, no. We've got a poor little Ashni. Sam, would you...
No.
Do you want to describe what happens as they can see you now? Or do you want me to describe this?
Just do it, Will. Rip my heart out. Just do it.
No. We see Ashni round the corner running towards Lara. And as they do, it's almost like... You know when you see your pet get all excited when you get home and like that recognition in their eyes, like, oh my god, it's you, you're here? It's almost like we can see that in Ashni's eyes, but then they just immediately like dim to black, and they're just like, and they just kind of turn around, that recognition in Lara lost, and run back towards the water.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, right?
Nah, fuck that guy. I'm done with this. Fucking Stool's alive, Oshni's gone. This episode's gone to shit already.
Yeah. Fuck this podcast.
Tune out now. Fuck.
Yeah.
All their charm and everything they did that made them unique, they just lost it in like less than 15 minutes. I don't know.
What the fuck?
Their DM's lost his mind.
I know you're talking about stools, okay? You guys are way off base.
Exactly. Thank you, Andrew. Next up, we have Grim. Grim has 2 failures, 1 success. Let's see if your boat captain survives. It's a 13. That is a success. All right. It's even. It's even now. And
He's 2 for 2.
Yep, and we are now at Andy. And Andy's gonna be like, well, wow, he like points to both Grim and Stool. He's like, you got anything you can do about that? I don't know where the others ran off to.
If you can grab Stool, I'll get Grim.
All right, and he goes and scoops up Grim because he doesn't fucking know.
The mushroom. If you could get the mushroom.
Oh yeah, no problem. He keeps a hold of Grim.
This one. And she's like pointing at him.
Yeah, I got him right here. Don't worry about it.
Andy, I will smite you. Just pick up the mushroom man.
I did. He's right here. You gotta calm down now. We're in a crisis.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. I got your mushroom fella right here in my arms. See, I'm cradling the poor child.
Stool will die this episode.
100%.
And we are back at the top of the order with Sephel. And let's
Yeah.
just double check this. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're at the top of round 11 right now.
11. So it's almost been 2 minutes.
Yes.
It's almost been 2. Oh, cool. So only 7 more rounds of Sephel fucking babbling and not being able to cast anything.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Okay, so I'm still on top of Indigo.
Yep.
My weight is doubled.
Yep. You've done the ultimate pig pile.
The only other thing I can think, because I'm still in that space of like, I can keep doing this, but if no one else interjects, he's just going to keep hitting me until eventually I fall unconscious, and then both of us are fucked. I don't have... So, what was his name? The crib? What was the monitor that, like,
Klub.
was...
There's lots. The one that threw you the bag of stuff was Clib. Clib has run off.
Yes. So when he threw... I can't remember right
Lara
now.
has it.
You have, like, the full bag?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I don't have, like... Because I'm just thinking... Okay, actually, I'm in a fucking house. Can I look around real quick? Is there anything in terms of, like, rope or netting around me? Because the only thing I can think to do past this point to save him and myself is to restrain him so he can't keep hitting me.
Sure. Yeah, no, there's tons of rope and tons of netting. You're not necessarily sure how strong it is, but there's so much because that's part of the building material for this place.
Sure.
So you could definitely grab a decent length.
Okay. So yeah, while I am on top of him, either if it's within reach, or I'll use my staff if it's a little bit further away.
You can
to...
reach it. It's not a big deal. It's
Okay.
like hanging down in different
Beautiful.
sections. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to try to tie up Indigo, just like his limbs, so he doesn't.
Sure.
Essentially hog tie him.
Can you make a survival check for me?
Sure can. Not a good one, but I can make one.
I want to make you squirm.
Okay, it's an 11.
Okay, yep. You manage to hogtie Indigo as they continuously try to punch you.
Great.
These ropes won't hold me, squid boy.
All right, that was
I quite literally have nothing to say.
that was your action.
Yep. And wizards don't have bonus actions.
No.
So yeah, that was it. I'm still on top of him, but I am also he is now
He's restrained.
yeah, my goal was to make him mechanically restrained. Is that
Yeah.
that good? Cool.
That has been accomplished.
So fuck you.
All right. Next up, we have the Demogorgon, who continues to rampage, and you now hear like the horrible, pained cries echoing across Sloop-A-Doop as Koatoa are just demolished, smashed, and thrown amongst the debris as they continue this large rampage, and they start making their way. Lara, you can see this between the buildings. They start making their way kind of southwest towards the Sea Mother's shrine, where it looks like they are about to start hammering into it with their long tentacle-like arms. That jabbering of the two mouths continues on. What, out of curiosity, what languages does Lara speak?
She speaks Celestial and Common.
Okay. All right. What about you, Indigo?
Indigo speaks Common, Elvish, and Goblin.
Okay. And you, Sephel?
He speaks Common, Primordial, and Deep Speech.
Okay. Well, none of you understand him. As you realize that they are indeed talking in some type of language. It seems like it's not necessarily random. Cries and echoes and roaring. All right, and that is their turn. Indigo, you are up. You're restrained, my friend.
It's fine. I don't need my hands to bite Sephel in the kneecap. And this I will do.
Yeah, you know what? Do it. I love this.
Yeah.
15.
Yeah, that hits.
2 points of piercing, nerd.
You fuck.
Beautiful. All
Yeah,
right.
because my rules lawyer ass forgot that restrain doesn't do fuck all to attacks. It just means he can't move.
Mm-hmm.
No, it does. That was at disadvantage.
Oh. No, I
I
mean,
just happened to roll well for the first time.
so I don't think it should be a disadvantage. I think the restrained condition does not. Does it inhibit your attacks? Because I'm just reading that it stops you from moving.
This rules break is brought to you by DM's Guild. That is, I think that's the grappled condition is just movement. Restrained gives you disadvantage on attacks and other people advantage on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep,
you've
that
got
is correct.
disadvantage. And you also have, Indigo has disadvantage on dex saving throws
Yep.
as well. So.
That is correct.
All right.
And remember, everybody, this rules lawyer break is brought to you by Indigo's Paper Emporium. Come here and buy all your books.
And that business is about as real as the cut we're not gonna make.
Yeah, right.
You know what? It'll be one of our first pieces of merch is like a journal or whatever of Indigo's, and then
Indigo's Paper Emporium.
and then we'll.
It's
and
just
then we'll do
paper.
that.
There's nothing. There's nothing on the paper. He's selling
just
sheets of parchment.
I will send you a piece of paper.
And Sephel has the next store, and he just sells ink because he's got an octopus face. Anyways,
I want a box. I want a box. Last thing, I want a box delivered to my front door with a picture of Indigo's character art, and it just says WB Honeydew. I'd pay money for that.
all right. Moving on. Lara, you are up. You are refreshed and invigorated with this new power. So
And
you're
I'm
obviously killing Stool, right? That's what I'm getting.
The question is Stool considered medium?
Stool is considered small.
So can I drag Stool without having difficult terrain, or is that going to slow me down?
Oh, no. I would say that Stool is lightweight enough that you could definitely pick them up and run with them like normal.
Okay, then I'm going to pick up Stool, move 10, 20. Can I get next? I want to get next to Grim, between Grim and the building.
Yep, you can definitely do that.
Okay, and then Grim is like, I can see that he's dying.
Yeah, it looks like he's in his potential final moments. I know,
Okay,
we'd all be sad.
Yeah, so, I mean, Lara looks at Grim, sees that he's dying, is carrying Stool, and sees that Stool is at least stable.
You don't technically know that. You saw a shudder. You haven't done a medicine check.
Right.
Do you
I would
save
like
the guy that you owe debt to, or
look, Stool has done nothing for the past day. He doesn't deserve to live.
I mean,
okay?
How quickly they forget.
Now-
Quickly they forget.
Yeah.
now think about Grim too. That fucker's still planning on stealing our shit as soon as we get out of here alive.
I mean,
I can tell you, me personally, as your DM, I'm not going to be mad if you don't save Grim. It's still a 50-50 chance whether he will die or if he somehow survives. You can abandon him. It's your game. You guys can do what you want.
absolutely. Lara's thought process right now is that she doesn't know what's wrong with Indigo and Sephel. And in the like, she's got like her own little combat crew here. Some people are more useful than others. Indigo and Sephel being more up higher. She can only heal one person, so she's gonna get eyes on them before she makes any decisions.
Okay.
So I'm gonna sprint. She's gonna come up next to Grim, and then she's gonna sprint forward again, and hopefully by this dash I can see into the building.
Yeah, I will say that you spot them in there. Sephel sitting on Indigo as Indigo is currently biting their knee. Sephel
Indigo's screaming.
blubbering.
Sephel's just like babbling. It's like a terrible fucking scene.
Yeah. Yep.
If you've ever watched like high school boys wrestling, that's what it looks like right now.
Okay, so I can move one more square. I have 10 more feet.
Less
Okay.
sexual, Andrew. Less.
I want to put Stool down away from Indigo. And then I'm gonna walk in.
Okay, did you dashed, you said, as well,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
You think that's all I can do?
Well, dashing requires an action to do that.
Right. So I'm just gonna move the whole 6
Okay.
squares
Gotcha.
to get in. And then free action, I just want to speak. Indigo, you gotta get a hold of yourself. This is insane.
I'm exactly where I want to be.
I've been waiting for this exact moment.
Grim, watch both of them. And then I'll
What?
end my turn.
As
I'm
Grim's
like-
lifeless corpse
Or not Grim,
falls on Andy's
Andy.
shoulder.
I meant Andy.
2 seconds
I know
later.
who these people are.
2 seconds later, he Oblivion NPC.
Yeah, right. Andy, watch them.
Grim, watch my companions.
It's gotta stick with Grim because that's just too beautiful. Andy like turns around so Grim's unconscious face is just facing inside, and he's just like he grabs Grim's mouth and he's just like,
Okay, I'll watch him.
My turn is over.
yeah, it's
This game
definitely
is a fucking nightmare.
Yep. Oh man. Well, Ashni's out of initiative as they have
Fuck.
sprinted into the water and they are disappearing. Goodbye, Ashni. We never got to see your greatness. All right, moving on. We are back to we are at Stool, who can't do shit, and we're now at Grim. Oh, Grim. Will you survive, Grim? No. That was a 9.
Fuck. A
So-
fucking 9.
That is 3 failures, and Grim unbeknownst to his newest compatriots and, well, whatever you would call them, boatmates, his mates, he's dead. And we are at Andy, who is still holding Grim's mouth, and he's like,
Oh, don't worry, I'm a big, strong rat. I'll watch him.
and it's like, he doesn't realize that Grim's dead, and he just keeps playing with him.
Ugh.
Okay, wow, closing out that tab. Okay, back to the top of the order, and it is Sephel.
So, first thing, now that he is restrained, I'm actually going to get off Indigo, and I'm going to step back. So I'm like not in his melee reach anymore. He can't move. He can't fucking bite me.
Opportunity attack.
Oh, fuck yourself. Take it. Get it over with.
I hope he gets it.
Yeah, me too. It's a 9.
No.
Dang. Indigo snaps in your general direction.
He is going to. Did Lara like get inside the building, or is she just close enough to like see what's going on? Like, have we registered she is here?
You have registered that she is there. She is standing in the doorway 5 feet away from you.
Okay. Sephel is going to try to speak to her, which at this point is like trying to communicate to her. So he's basically just going to be like he is going to gesture to Indigo, actually step back and like pull on the ropes around his wrist, like trying to get him up. But of course Sephel isn't strong enough to get him. So he's basically just looking at Lara, like pleading, like this is stupid. Help me, like move him.
I think a good way to think about it in this current situation, until you guys get to like long-term madness / like indefinite madness, is like, think of it as more of like, these are moments of shock. You have seen something truly either horrifying or mind-boggling that like, this is perfect for you, Sephel. It's like you can't form words because it's like you're tongue-tied. You're so frantic that you're just like, you know, you don't know what to say because
no, that's good.
This is horrifying what's happening right now. You've never come across this before.
I was actually thinking too, like a part of this, that works really well with what was in my head. Like he's babbling, he's trying to get shit out and it's not coming out, and I'm like, if it's not just pure gibberish, like if it's more of just he's tripping over himself, like language is coming out but it's not coherent, it's like it's nothing. I almost imagine him like tripping into the deep speech that he doesn't even remember he has. Like just this babbling, like parts of it are coming out as like hissing, gravelly, probably like starting to get into his, like his voice is tripping up his own head and it's starting to actually give him a headache.
Yeah. No, that's I like that a lot. I like that image of you, like he's just unconsciously going through the different languages. I will say, you do feel something.
Okay.
As you're trying to convey this message to Lara, you almost feel the presence of Grim's life fade. It's like you just had a cold chill pass over you. And it's like, you know someone that you've been in contact with has just passed. And you feel another sensation inside of you, which is like intrigue / you're like almost like an intrusive thought of opportunity. And that's it. And then it's gone.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so he's beckoning to Lara to help, and he gets that feel, like he pauses for half a second, and like instinctually his head turns and his body like almost moves, and it's like it's gone instantly, and he's just back to trying to get Indigo up.
Okay.
But like the tentacles twitched for a second.
Yeah. All right. We're back to Demogorgon, who is now laying into the Sea Mother's shrine. You guys can hear the crack of stone and coral and the ripping and snapping of ropes as he's digging into it, or they, I should say. And we are now at you, Indigo.
Is there anyone in combat range, or Sephel or Lara close enough to nip?
I would
say I stepped back.
You did say that you stepped back. I would say that they're both clear of you, so you can't hit anybody at this current moment.
I mean, like I had stepped back inward to like try to get him up.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I would probably be.
Okay.
I'd step back initially, but when I was calling to Lara or like trying to beckon to Lara, I did say that I walked back to him to gesture.
Sure.
All right, then I'll take another trump.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a 6. You escape again, you wily bastard.
Cool. I'm really thankful because like you could take me out. Like if a couple of these rolls had hit, you could eventually. You're whittling me down.
So
Restraining was a good idea.
Yeah, for sure.
So this is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to drop us out of initiative here. You guys are far enough away for the moment that you are not currently engaged with anybody. And you are, the majority of you, except for Andy, the unconscious form of Stool, and the dead body of Grim, are all like hidden in a way in this hovel. So I'm going to say we can drop initiative here. What do you guys want to do?
Sephel, what are we supposed to do here?
I bite Sephel.
Fuck.
Are
you actually making me attack?
No.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna step
okay.
out of the way of Indigo just like chomping at my fucking feet. I'm gonna step backwards. He's gonna like take the staff, like try to like wrap it in, like stick it out, but wrap it in the ropes, like under the wrist ropes, and like just drag it. Like we need to fucking move.
Okay.
We can't stay in this building. We need to keep going. We need to get to a boat.
Yeah, Lara, before we go, I want to kind of, he's restrained, right? But I want to grab Indigo by the head. Like, I've got one hand under his chin and the other one on the back of his head.
And you're going to snap
and
his
I want
neck?
No one lives.
All right, this is a really dark turn. Okay.
I'm going to turn his head so that he can see Stool on the ground outside of the doorway. And I'm going to make him look at Stool. And then I'm going to just say in his ear, You need to snap the fuck out of it, Indigo. And I want to cast Lesser Restoration.
Ooh.
So, like, it's like a combination of magic that is not technically used for this, but also, like, trying to reach into his mind.
I like this. I really like this. And so just tell us what Lesser Restoration does, but I'm fully on board with this.
So, Lesser Restoration it cures one disease or one condition, and it states that the condition can be blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned.
Okay. I'm going to say in this particular case, it will work. I will double check this, but in this moment I'm gonna let it ride and say that as you cast a spell, Indigo, you feel kind of that anger, that rage kind of coursing through you slowly fade as you stare at the unconscious form of Stool.
Hey, Will, would you say that it was the power of love?
No, fuck no. not from Lara for Stool's sake and Indigo? Nah, son, you tripping.
Even Indigo has like a subconscious, deep-seated hatred for Stool. He just won't allow himself to feel it.
You guys are monsters.
What were you gonna say, Andrew?
Well, first I was going to tell you that you're a monster for doing that, but also thank you. Oh well. Hi Lara, you seem very intense right now.
We need to move.
Yeah. He like takes like a little glance around. Yeah, that sounds. Yep. Okay. Yep. No. That's a good. I am tied up right now, but if you could rectify that, just ready to go.
You're not gonna bite anybody?
I do not currently feel inclined to do so.
Fine. And I'll break the bonds.
Okay.
And then I will go pick up Stool and heal Stool.
Oh, well, I could. Oh no, you're already doing it. Oh, okay. Nope. You're in charge. Yep.
I know you can do better, but I also think that you can probably do more than I can. If we need bigger.
That's very nice of you to
power.
say. Hey, Sephel, I'm sorry about all the biting and punching. That wasn't. No, I hear that. I'm sorry. That's how I made you feel, and I take responsibility for that.
Hey, DM, has it been fucking 60 seconds since we dropped the initiative order?
I'll give it to you. Yeah.
You weren't. You're an asshole, and I respect it. You were questioning.
Yeah.
Like
I'll
that
give it
last
to you.
fucking snarl comes out, and he like coughs and hacks a little bit, and his tentacles like furl and untangle themselves. Ah! We need to move now.
Is that what you were saying this whole time?
Yes.
Well, I think that's pretty obvious, Sephel.
Attempt.
Of course we need to move.
Then grab him and go.
There's a lot of tension here right now, and I just want to say that there is a lot of tension here.
I have had enough of your mouth in the last 3 minutes. Out the door.
Okie dokie.
He is pissed.
When Lara goes to heal Stool, if Indigo stops her, I would allow it, but otherwise she will pick him up and keep running.
I feel like you are in charge right now. Indigo is just doing what you say.
Yeah, then she will be running with Stool, and she will give him 4 hit points through Healing Hands.
Okay. Let me throw that in there for him. 4 hit points. Wow. Amazing. Stool's just like, and those little spores come out, and he's like,
Oh, Lara, it's so good to see you.
We're even, Mushroom Boy.
Oh, fuck.
Even?
I saved your life twice, you saved my life twice. Next time, I'll save someone who's more useful than being anything other than a meal. Got it?
Fuck.
My dad always said I'd be good on a salad.
and he goes quiet and still kind of remains limp as you are running along with his form.
Lets the family trauma flow through him.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, she feels guilt in that moment of like, oh no.
Yeah, look what you've done. Words hurt.
Yeah,
You did
Will,
this.
Can you send me the play or the source book passage about myconoid cannibalism?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Because there's
Absolutely, I
clearly
will.
some fucked up tendencies going on.
Yeah. All right. Indigo, do you wanna make your rules lawyer announcement break?
Welcome to Rules Lawyer Corner. This time it's brought to you by Sephel's Feathers. Get 'em while they're hot.
Smells feathers.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Just so you guys do know, lesser restoration is a valid form of ridding short-term or long-term madness.
Oh, no shit.
Wow.
But depending on the source, you might need to use other spells. But in this particular case, I'm going to let the lesser restoration fly.
Hell yeah.
So, yes, just so
Interesting.
you guys know. All right, so Lara is making off with Stool, and Indigo is unbound. Sephel, you can now speak. Andy is still playing with the dead form of Grim.
I don't give a shit about Andy. Let's go.
Let him have the body.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
Fuck.
Indigo and Sephel, are you chasing after Lara?
Yep, right on the heels.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys, where are you headed to? Are you headed towards the docks? Are you headed towards the western walls? What's the game plan
I
here?
think the plan was get to the docks, get to one of the boats, and go.
Okay. All right. Well, the closest raft that you can see as you guys are kind of coming around this hovel to the north is this particular small one here. You do know that you came through this way before, and you could potentially make it to your actual boat. It's more a matter of, what kind of craft do you want to be on, and how long do you presume that you will be afloat in the Dark Lake?
Well, right. What, are the rafts, are they kind of just like fishing deals? Like they would take it a little bit off and come back quick? Or they're for travel.
Think your classic, think Castaway style raft of it's a bunch of log-like materials bound together with a couple of poles that would push them along. So
our boat is probably the better bet.
You would think it's probably faster and a bit sturdier. Yes.
Okay. Do we remember where our boat was? What dock?
It was the very end to the northwest. I will say, you guys can get to it as long as you keep up a fast pace, that you can outrun the carnage that Demogorgon is currently raining down on this.
Yeah, no, we're booking it.
Okay. So you guys manage to get all the way to the northwest. You see more and more Koatoa racing around, some fighting each other, the cries of Demogorgon in the back, and you guys find your boat and load yourselves up in it, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Okay, so you load yourselves up in it, and then kind of as you guys are pushing off, you see Andy appear with Grim on the edge of the dock, and he's just like, "Bye, guys."
What the fuck?
As he's controlling Grim's body, and then he just kind of lays Grim down. He's like, "I hope y'all find where you needin' to go." And then he just leaves Grim's body and walks away back into the carnage.
Lara, we need to make speed. Where's Ashni? Get it aboard the boat. We need to move.
I don't know where Ashni is. We should just go.
Can I... Sephel will do a quick look, looking over the side. Is not Ashni anywhere?
Make a perception check.
Okay. Natural 1. Fuck no.
Yeah, you have no idea, and it's probably you look real fast, and then you're like, "Oh, fuck it, I don't care."
Nope, don't see it.
I think Lara takes a moment to kind of try, instinctually to just link with Ashni, and when she can't, it's just kind of we can't. We don't have time.
Okay. And so you guys push off
heartbreaking
into the Dark Lake. And as you guys get farther and farther out, do any of you look back at Sloop-A-Doop as you go, or no?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm rowing. Well, I guess I could row backwards. I could.
Sephel is a mix of... Well, Sephel would offer to help if you wanted it, but if not, he's kind of stuck in that feeling. If I remember correctly from last session, the one look that he had at the Demogorgon was just a look of this intense, this weird mental reaction that he wasn't expecting. So I think he is genuinely looking back at everything going on, kind of stuck in that.
Sure. Yeah, you are looking back, and while you can see Demogorgon raging across, and more of the bioluminescent fungi and lanterns that they had set about the city wink out more and more, and eventually you can't see the lights as the destruction continues, and eventually all you can hear is just the faint echoes. That feeling that you had felt before for a moment, another kind of one of those intrusive thoughts, it doesn't come over you again. even when you could really see him. But yeah, it doesn't pass over you anymore.
Okay.
And Stool kind of like peeks up from underneath the board that I'm assuming like Lara stuffed him underneath, and he's like,
So where are we going?
To the center of the Dark Lake.
Why?
I'm also curious. I thought Gracklestug was the next stop. I know we've lost our guide, but deeper in where that thing came from.
I don't know. I died back there. I don't think none of you were there. Grim was down. Stool was down. And I was dying. I suppose I don't know if I actually died. But I was granted life again by something. And the agreement I made is that I have to go to the center of the Dark Lake. There's something there. So, I saved your life, and now you will help me.
Okay. There's a lot of middle ground that needs to be covered. First of all,
You've definitely exceeded the 50-pound limit of carry-on luggage with that.
That's a lot of baggage.
Yeah.
That's a lot of baggage.
Even like tipping your shoe up ain't gonna help that one.
I am inclined to listen, as you have been intelligent and strategic thus far, but that is a lot to dump. After that, we haven't even unpacked what the fuck just happened back there. We don't know that beast. We don't know that event. Our guide is dead. There's a lot. And the relationship that we have in this very short time, I believe, has prospered because of our mutual understanding of each other's disposition, so I understand you are prone to doing this. However, I would request the respect of processing past information and explaining current.
Yeah, maybe. I think I need to process it first. And now that you've said it, we probably do need a guide. Is there somewhere, does anyone know, is there somewhere we can get another guide before Gracklestug? Do we know anything?
No, and also we were supposed to resupply, so we don't actually have enough food or water to get to Gracklestug at the moment.
Aw, man. I wish you guys were more educated.
Could still eat the mushroom.
Could
Where?
still eat the mushroom.
Where?
Oh, you sweet, sweet boy.
Oh, you mean me? I don't. It would suck, but I guess if it helps.
If any of you touch Stool, I will put this mimic so far up your butt. You will die a painful, painful death.
You see the mimic has actually had its mouth like over Stool's leg, and it just shies back a little bit.
Indigo. That is the single most respectable thing I have heard out of your mouth since we've started traveling together.
Oh, I don't think so, but okay.
Then I
What
think
do
where
we-
we're at. Yeah.
I mean, I think that if Miss Lara says that she has something important to do at the center of the Deep Lake, I say we go do it, and then we kind of figure it out afterwards.
Do we know how big the lake is?
You have no idea. You were told by Grim that it was going to take you a total, including what it took you to get to Sloop-A-Doop, about 2 weeks to make it to Gracklestug.
And
No.
if I understand, that was just like traveling relatively close to the coastline, right?
Yeah. He had mentioned, I'm pretty sure he had mentioned that there were all sorts of different waterways and like water elevators that had been used by the Dwagger in various sections. He didn't say what shoreline you had to follow. You can not currently see one, but you would assume you've probably got, I think, like 9 days if you knew the direction you were headed in to get to Gracklestug.
I mean, did this entity give a timeline? Was it like, you need to meet me at the center of the Dark Lake in 3 days, or was it get there?
It was get there.
If you need to go somewhere, my odds of survival are significantly increased by staying with you. I only ask that we take time, take stock, get materials, gain knowledge. We don't even know what this entity is. I hesitate to trust. I'm thankful for it not having us lose another companion. But I hesitate to trust an entity we know nothing of immediately. Especially when it suggests that we travel to the very center of a body of water, liquid, goo we know nothing about, that we've been told is incredibly dangerous, that we have encountered such dangers on the mere coastline. What resides at the center? And what do you do about it when it sinks our boat? I can't swim 9 days.
I think you're right. We need to resupply. We need food and water above all else, because this could be a longer trip than to get to Gracklestug. And if there's nowhere to go to get those supplies, then we need to get creative, which probably means exploring these waters.
There is another option that I'm just throwing into the ether. If we wait.
Eat stool. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well,
I told you the consequences would be
obviously
dire.
obviously that is always on the table. However,
right.
we have, it seems to me, our two choices are we move on, and we hope that we find a location with suitable resources in the near future, which at that point becomes a race. The other option that we could discuss is we wait out the carnage of Sloop-A-Doop. And once the creature or monstrosity or whatever that is has moved on, we return, we scrap and pillage what is left, if anything. And perhaps that will give us a head start. Speaking of which, DM, I had found a number of things in Bloop's hut.
Yeah,
Can I get a quick refresher on what those are? I tried to scribble shit down, but I don't think I got super accurate.
Yes. Let me just make sure I have the right building, because let's be honest, there was much looting that could have been had. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know I got a series of coins, and I'll worry about counting that shit later, but in terms of like...
Yeah, you got 3 various sized leather satchels filled with different types of coins. You found an embroidered silk handkerchief with a spider design upon it. You found 3 azurite gems, smaller ones. And you found a ornately made bronze cup and a silver choker with a spider design as well. Those were all the things you found.
Okay. One of the huts that I ran through, when that was all I could do, was the daughters where the items that we were suggested payment with were supposedly stored, and I did take what I could. I'm not entirely sure what any of these items are, but I can, if we want to spend a couple hours, if I take some dedicated time, I can identify them to the best of my ability. Perhaps some of these are useful. I did not check if any of them were magical per se, although my ability to sense magic is what lured me to the building. So I would assume one or a couple of them might be, but if nothing else, perhaps they could fetch some coin or be worthy of trade for resources should we find somewhere else. So there is that.
Yeah, so we just gotta paddle until we find someone to trade with, or whatever. I mean, I understand the logic of going back over there, but also that thing is over there.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you remember all those times I bit you, Sephel, but that was because I just looked. I didn't fight. I just looked at it.
I do vaguely remember that, and so do my ankles. No, you're right. You are right.
Well, how about this? Sephel, we take some time. We continue to move, but we also perhaps look underwater for anything that can prove useful.
All right, back to fishing. I like it.
Fishing is an option. Foraging. I don't. I'd like to believe I'm more subtle than I lead on, but I would assume it. Both of you have noticed at this point. I don't need to be a further depletion of our resources. I can do just fine with little to no sustenance, if that is helpful.
I thought you were just good at rationing.
I'd like to believe I'm that survivable, but in truth I haven't felt a hunger in a while, and actually the consumption of my last meal turned my stomach a little bit, so
Lara
there's
looks
that.
at Indigo like, it's a little weird, isn't it, Indigo?
Making eyes like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Oi, oi, oi.
Yeah, we're all in the same boat.
Yeah.
We're
Sephel's just watching
pretty
like,
wild
listen,
stuff.
some of us don't need to eat, some of us disappear into genie bottles. We all have shit.
I think when Sephel says that, she like reaches up to where her vessel is kept at the end of her braid, and it's not there anymore.
yeah.
And Lara gets very sad.
Yeah, you guys are pretty weird. Me and Stool are normal, though.
Absolutely.
I will tip this boat over.
Do it. I float.
Watch
from
me survive.
From my survival alone, I would request not
No.
tipping the boat.
I do want to thank you, Sephel, because I think in the aftermath of what had just happened, I was feeling impulsive, and sometimes I need that to be told to think things through. Particularly after what has just happened, I felt particularly powerful and not entirely myself.
What? Are you comfortable speaking on what happened to you?
I think I need some time.
Fair enough. I think we all need time.
You can talk to me, Sephel. I'll talk to you.
If you can give me one answer, it is why is it every time this place plays its games with our minds. Do you attack me?
True,
What?
though.
And it is fairly specifically me.
That that's true. I hadn't really thought about that.
I have.
Dude, in my defense, I also tried to punch Lara and Grim. May he rest in peace.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, now it hits you. Now it hits you.
Listen, at the end of this chapter, or like at a certain point, I want to roll like you know what, the Oscars, when they do that really fucking sad 5-minute scroll screen video of like all the actors who've died in the last year. We could do that today with all of the NPCs that have died in this campaign
right?
so far.
You really could.
Yeah.
I think we travel, we take stock, we process. We've been on the run, just running, for a very long time. I don't think we've had a moment to stop in quite a while. Perhaps it's time to process.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so you guys kind of hunker down in this boat, kind of taking stock once again of everything that has happened to you within the last few hours. The people you met, the Koatoa you lost, and find yourselves adrift upon the dark lake. I have gone ahead and just added in all your XP that you have gained from that event. You have not leveled up, but you guys can now see how much you have gained. As time continues to roll on and you guys kind of gather yourselves, I imagine that all of you at some point either fall asleep or fall into a meditative trance as you are adrift on this boat because of everything that has happened to you. If it's not exhaustion, it's just you're overwhelmed. And as you all kind of come to, you can all mark a long rest. But you all awake, even you, Sephel, have this weird feeling of like, you know when you've been sick and you like wake up and you've been like breathing through your mouth and you have chapped lips and just like the fever, and this might be too real for people right now, but like you ache all over and it feels like you've been out for days. You kind of get that feeling I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You all awake with that feeling. Even you coming out of your trance, Sephel, and you, Indigo, when you awake, I imagine you're kind of one of the first ones. You look around the boat, you see your mimic has gone absolutely quiet, and you actually see Stool kind of stirring as well, but their form is a little more shriveled. And as you kind of look out into the expanse of the darkness, you see that where you could once maybe occasionally see a large, enormous stalactite coming down out of the gloom, you no longer see that. And you check on your supplies and you see some of the rations that you had, some of the food that you had caught, like the fish and stuff like that, have actually turned spoiled. Like you haven't touched them in days. And you all like kind of shift as a shiver rolls down your spine, and you see, as you all turn in the same direction towards the front of the boat, what looks like an aisle coming out of the gloom in front of you. in the first feature you see of this particular place, looks like kind of a large outcropping. And I'm going to move you guys to a new map. Let me reveal some areas here. As you come through this area, you can look to the bottom left of your Roll20 screen. As you are coming upon this space, I imagine you're all kind of lost because it's like, what is this? It's this tall outcropping. It's at its highest, you would imagine it's probably 30 feet high. And atop it, you see this kind of large stone and what looks like a large altar, also made of stone. And you pass underneath with your boat under an old, rickety plank bridge that kind of just sways a little bit above you guys as you go through. And as you come through, you're looking all around you as you come into this tiny little cove space. You see all about you through the gloom, large, small, and various sized statues of different creatures. You see more jutting rocks and boulders kind of forming from this, and as your boat finally touches against a small pebbly beach, you see candlelight coming from a hut. And betwixt all these different statues, you see gigantic bones. Specifically, ribs. A large, almost cave of ribs that seem to kind of move in and out of the land and the rock. And as you look to the far west side of the island, as it kind of slopes up and away from you towards this hut, you see an enormous skull. And I will go ahead and reveal more of this space.
Oh, shit.
You see a small, covered well. You see a pile of logs and a chopping block. But you don't hear anything. You see that there is an odd kind of outbuilding up to the northwest, kind of high upon this perched isle. You see a front door that, as you all set foot upon the beach, almost drawn out of your boat, you see it almost unlatch and quietly open inwards. And that's where we'll leave it this week.
Hey, you, loyal listener, you've made it this far to the post show notes, and that means the absolute world to us. Thank you so much for being here. If you have one more second, we would adore you if you could leave a rating and a review in whatever podcatcher you're currently listening in. The ratings and reviews are astronomical when it comes to growing the show because it's what gets us noticed for new listeners. So if you have just a moment to do that, please do. And we also have a Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram if you want to give us a follow. It's at The Madness Table. And if you've noticed, we are now posting weekly episodes because of supporters like you. So if we haven't said it enough, thank you. And we will see you in just 7 short days for our next episode when...